year from my so-called home. Now, first off, before I go any further, I want to say that I hope you all had a very Merry Christmas and a very happy and blessed New Year. I unfortunately was not feeling well between Christmas and New Year's, so that week for me was kind of a blur, but I'm feeling much better now, and now that New Year's is behind us, I have started taking down all of my Christmas decor, which is very sad. I'm sad that Christmas is over and New Year's has passed, but it was time to, move on and take down the Christmas decor. Our Christmas tree had dried up so bad, all the needles were falling off. So here are a few good tips that I use to organize and put away Christmas decor. Okay, for my first tip for organizing some ornaments that are irregularly shaped is to use one of these plastic apple containers. My friend actually, she got this at Costco. She bought a bunch of apples and she was gonna throw it away, and I was like, hey, I could use that. So I saved it, and now I put in a bunch of ornaments that I bought this year. Well, some I bought this year, some I've already had, but it just fit them perfectly, and I didn't have to wrap each one and put them in a separate container. They all have their own little section, from the apple cutouts, and now I can store a bunch of ornaments in one container, and they are protected from one another from the different sections. Another little tip I have, something I like to do, my neighbor actually gives this to us every year. She gives us a bayberry candle, and there's kind of like a Pennsylvania Dutch tradition behind it, that you light this every Christmas Eve and so on and so forth. So I like to actually just keep these tucked in. She always gives it to us on Christmas Eve, so I don't have it really for the Christmas season for that year that she gives it to me, but I can tuck it into my ornament containers, and it just makes the box smell so delicious. So even though it's still wrapped and it's in this little jar, it still gives off such a really nice scent. So when I go to open my boxes next year, as soon as you open it, you just feel so Christmassy because the candle gives off a really nice scent. So that's another little tip. One more tip I have for you is to save these types of plastic bags that a lot of different items come in. They're just a good quality plastic bag, and usually they have a zipper. So for instance, this is what I used to store my lights this year, and I had four strands of lights. So I wrapped each one around my arm, like to get it all wound up onto itself, and then I kind of wrap the loose end of the cord around and I plug it into itself, like the two different cords I plug into themselves. So that keeps each cord wound up nicely, and then I organized 3 of them into plastic bags, just regular grocery shopping bags that I had, and that way that keeps the individual strands from wrapping up onto one another. And then the top one I just left loose because now I'll be able to look into the bag and see what's actually in here. And since the rest of them are all wound up and in a plastic bag, the top one won't get wound up or tangled with the other ones. And then I kept it in one of these plastic bags, and again, I think this had like pillows or something, so it's a perfect little container. I didn't have to go out and buy anything. I just already had it, and I already had the plastic bag, so that's a good free little organizer to use for your Christmas lights. Here's one more example of using those clear plastic packaging bags. This was one that has snaps on it. It doesn't actually have a zipper, but same concept, a good quality bag, and I was able to put in these little Noel plush blocks that a friend of mine gave me this year that I really, really loved. They're very child friendly, which was a good thing, and I just stored it in one of these plastic bags, and it's ready to go for next year. Another tip I have for you for this year that will be very helpful next year is to evaluate all of your Christmas decor that you have in your basement, in your attic, wherever you keep it, that you didn't pull out this year. And this is something that I just did this year that I hadn't done in previous years, and that was to evaluate the things that I didn't put out and I didn't decorate with. And I had to just kind of ask myself, why didn't I pull it out? Is it something that I really want? Is it something that I'm gonna use next year because I didn't use it this year? So go through the things that you don't put out and you don't decorate with, and just ask yourself if you want to use it again next year. And if not, just pass it along or donate it, or you know, just get rid of it, so that next year when you go to put out your decorations, it's easy because you know that everything that's put away is what you love and you want to decorate with. So also what I did when I went through my things was give a lot of stuff away to my sister, who just got married in September, and she doesn't have any Christmas decorations. So that was a really easy way for me to part with things that I was kind of on the fence about, and I didn't want to throw them away because I thought that they were kind of good quality. So to give them away to her was a really nice and easy way for me to kind of part with things, because I knew that she would enjoy them and she could use them because she didn't have a lot. So definitely go through your decor and decide if you want to keep it for the next year. And I have a little example of something that I got rid of this year that I'm just gonna throw away because I'm not gonna use it next year. So here's my example of something that I didn't use this year and I'm just gonna get rid of them. We have an ugly Christmas sweater party every year, and I bought these ugly socks last year, I think, to use for our party. And they're really ugly Santa socks, and I washed them in the washer and put them in the dryer, and they kind of started to unravel a little bit, and we didn't pull them out this year to wear. So that's a little, you know, signal to me that I'm not going to wear them next year because I didn't even want them this year. So I'm just going to get rid of them, and that frees up a little bit of storage space. Now this is another tip right here. I kind of organized a few loose things that I had in our basement that I didn't actually bring out this year to use, but I don't want to get rid of them. It's just more kind of like crafty things. So I put them in a box by themselves. I put a rubber band on it just to kind of keep it together. And I stuck a little sticky note on them, and so I will know what's in here for next year. So I have bottle trees, tinsel garland, snowballs, and some red bows. And these are things, again, I didn't use this year, but I do plan to possibly use in the future for other decor or Christmas crafts. So to put a little sticky note on it, on, you know, a box that you can't see into is a good idea. Then you don't have to open it. Next Christmas, you just pull it down, you know what's in it, and you know where they go. So all of my ornaments that don't fit into these larger plastic containers in their own individual boxes go into this round, it's like a hat box, and it has a Christmas print on it, and I think I got it at a garage sale. So anything that doesn't fit into the big boxes or into that apple container, I put in here. So these are a lot of ornaments that come in kind of sets, so I have multiples of things. So like these snowflakes, or I have these kind of puffy snowflakes. I have a big bag of just the cut rounds of wood. So I just organize them all into little Ziploc bags. I have like candy canes down here and things like that. So they're all contained, they all have, you know, like items are together, and they're in their own plastic bag. Then any other loose ornaments that I have that aren't fragile, I kind of just layer on top. But then one more thing I did this year that I hadn't done any other year because we didn't have any kids was I kept all of Evie's special ornaments together in one box. So that way they're separate from all the other ornaments, and when I want to take them out next year, I'll know exactly where they are. But for now, they all fit nicely into that one box, and all of our other loose ornaments fit into this one hat box. And I can put the lid on, and they all are just contained in this one container. Okay, so now we are downstairs in my basement, and this is my basement storage room. So here's the room. It's just an unfinished part of our basement, and on this side we've kind of stacked extra diapers that she'll be using in the future, and this is all of Evie's out-of-season clothes that I've kind of started to organize, and on this side is just other things. But here in the middle is our Christmas decor organized, and I bought these two new bins this year at Target, and these two bins I've had for years, ever since we first got married. So what I've done is just stack them all on the left here on this rack, and on this side we keep the Christmas tree stand at the bottom because that's the heaviest, and then that hat box has ornaments, and here is outdoor Christmas lights. And then on this side you can see I have organized this year my decor into different bins and labeled them, and this is something I just did this year. And I actually bought these labels. I'll show them here. I bought them in October, I believe. They were at Michael's. They were on clearance for $3, and there's a whole pack of them. Let's see, there were 30 of these, and they're vinyl pockets, and I'll show you. They look like this, and it's basically a sticker, a vinyl sticker that you can peel off this backing, and it has a little paper on the inside that you can write on and then pull out of the sleeve and put a new one in if you ever need to change what is being, stored inside. So that's what I did. I put them on each box and I labeled what was inside. So we have our nativity, some crafts, the Santa I got at the Goodwill, and some more decor. So like I said, if I ever need to change it, this little tab comes in and out, and each box has been labeled accordingly. So those are our 4 main bins all stacked up. On the top here, I'll pull this down and give you a look inside. So I use this one to kind of keep longer ornament containers. These are, I think all 3 were from the dollar store. And so they fit nicely in this bin, and I could save a little space in the bigger bins. But mostly this is just keeping wrapping paper supplies. My wrapping paper actually didn't fit. It was too long. So that's just in my wrapping station. But all the gift bags that are for Christmas, gift tags, I have some gift boxes on the bottom. And on the very bottom is a whole bunch of tissue paper that I bought this year at the Christmas tree shops. That was a really good deal, so I stocked up. And I'm pretty much set for next Christmas and the next 5 Christmases possibly. I have extra ribbon that was on a gift this year, so I kept it and rolled it back up, and I could definitely reuse that. I have some red baker's twine, and yes, so that is my little organizing box for gift wrapping supplies. And above that gift wrapping box, there's just this open space on top that is perfect for flat items. So I have 2 things up here that fit really nicely. This is a Santa that oh, it's so bright, there it is, that I made I just kind of freehanded it, using a grid, and drew it on with a Sharpie and some silver paint. And then underneath it is my cork board that was our advent calendar. So those fit nicely up there. And there's still more space on top of these 2 racks, and that's where I put my tall mercury glass trees and my pine cone trees, and they fit perfectly up on top. I guess I can show you. There you go. There's a lot of space up there, and they fit all the way up to the rafters, and it's perfect. They're out of the way. Evie will never be able to get to them until she's much bigger, so it's a perfect use of space. Now here's one last tip. This is something that I did this year that, again, I haven't done this in the past, and I think it'll be really helpful. I just wrote on a little sticky note and stuck it onto the top bin that's in the basement, and this is things that I will need to either make or do or buy for next year. And I just stuck it on top, so, around October, November, when I'm thinking about Christmas next year, I can come down here, see what I need, and get a head start on those items for that year. So that is, I'll back up again, that is my Christmas decor organizing space in our basement. So it's a good amount of space. I can have just the perfect amount of decor for our house, and I don't go overboard storing too many things because it's just too much to take out and put away every year. Our house is not that big, so it limits me to the amount of decor I can have, and I think it's the perfect amount. So that is how I organize and store my Christmas decor for our home. Now, I haven't put every single thing away. I still have a couple things out that are more just wintry and they're not Christmas specific, and I'll keep those up for the whole month of January and a little bit into February, and then eventually I'll transition it out and bring in the spring thing. So there's still more room in those bins that are in the basement, so I can definitely fit all the things that I need to put away for next Christmas. So hopefully you found some of those tips helpful, and if you haven't put away your Christmas decor already, maybe you have some tips for next year that could be useful. So again, thank you for watching, and hope you all had a very Merry Christmas and have a very Happy New Year. And yeah, I'll talk to you later, guys. Bye.